Hey, everybody. This is Seven City Shop Talk Sports Show. I am your host, Big Law. This is the post-game show for University of Virginia versus the University of William and Mary Tribe. So, what do you think? Everybody talk to me. UVA coming out with a big win, 55-16. With that kind of a victory, I'd said earlier, it's going to have to come down. It's going to have to really, really come down to figuring out UVA wanting to decide what kind of team they're going to be. You saw one team or one game that put a lot of points up, blew out a team, and they came and played. At this point, figuring out that this is one of the best teams in in the ACC, and that's NC State. And then coming back again to lesser competition, and truly showing their superiority and blowing a team out by 30, 40 points, kind of gives you an idea that, is this team more than for real? Are there more aspirations than just going to a bowl game? I mean, I was looking at the numbers, last game they put up 31. Should have put up more than that. Before that, they put up 48 points. This game, 55 points. We'd be hard pressed to find a game or a season when UVA put up that many points over a 3-game stretch. Not to mention, they broke the all-time record for total yards, which to me is a huge thing. It doesn't matter who you're playing. When you're putting up 727 yards on anybody, home or away, that's a huge deal, big deal. And UVA could put up that amount of yards, and it wasn't like it was just starters putting up numbers. I mean, I got to give a shout out. We had two 100-yard rushers. Before I get to the other 200-yard rushers, our prayers go out to Noah Vaughn, one of the running backs on the squad. But right now, Jamar Taylor, who got some time, got another touchdown. I think that's 6 touchdowns in 3 games. Chandler Morris got a little loose, threw the ball around some. I think he had a touchdown pass to Cam Courtney. And that leads me to the players I was talking about. Cam Courtney, Harrison Whaley, Noah Vaughn. Like I said, prayers go out to Noah. It looks like he had a lower extremity, lower leg, maybe the right leg injury. Walked off really slow in his own power. But he had 100 yards. He had a 60-some-odd yard run before halftime. And looked great doing it. But also shout out to Harrison Whaley, who also had a 97-yard touchdown to break the record for longest rush for a touchdown of a UVA running back. And then, of course, Cam Courtney had a receiving touchdown, had a few other receptions, also had a great return as well. And these are not your starters, I didn't say Jamal Edgerrin, I didn't say Terrell Harris, or even Cam Ross, or Jamari Taylor, who had 1 touchdown run, but a lot of the work against this team was done against the backups, which for me makes me think, wow, where are we headed? I like what I see with this team. Even Daniel Canley got in and did a good job as the backup, just in mop-up duty. And that it looks like everybody that dressed out got on the field, which was an awesome look as well. But this coaching staff seems like they got the pulse. Finally got the real pulse of this program and the real pulse of their personnel. And I know everybody's going to say, well, they're spending up on it and this and that. But I can tell you, you still got to coach it up. That's one thing that they always say is like, yeah, you can bring in the talent. You can bring the people from the outside, players from the outside, but can they come to the program and be successful on and off the field? So right now, I'm looking and I see success right now. 2-1. And great job. And I know Mike London probably came in and was hoping that his team would be successful. But I know Mike probably walked in here, and when he started seeing the players play, and I bet you he was kind of like, wow, he said, Virginia, I would love to hear what he has to say. Because I know he's probably thinking, man, that Virginia team is really good on that side. And that's what I'm thinking to myself as well. I'm thinking that if Virginia can, stay out of the tub, meaning stay out of getting, a lot of their key players injured, which they're still have their two best players on defense not even playing, Cam Robinson and Antonio Clary. Those guys aren't even on the, or haven't been on the field yet, and possibly looking for a return for Cam Robinson probably soon. I'm looking for that, but this could be something special in what's brewing. I mean, I've been coming here covering this team for over 12 seasons, and to have 727 yards of offense was very impressive. And like I said, it's up and down the roster who's putting up the points. It's not just the starters. Defense played relatively well, but like I said, I'm not saying it's William and Mary, but also I'm just saying that it was an effort, a good effort. It got good pressure. Did a great job of stopping the rush, and Virginia is definitely on a roll at this point. I said they had to figure themselves out. Who are they going to be? What kind of team they're going to be? Are they going to reestablish themselves? And I think they did. And as they reestablish themselves, where do we go forward? And forward right now, for the defense anyway, they had 3 sacks today. They had 3 TFLs. They didn't get a turnover, but on the offensive end, they were 9 of 16 on third down conversions and 7 of 8 in the red zone. But forward, the next team, hey, you have Stanford, a night game, 7:30. And this is a game, in my opinion, that could be a statement game. You're playing, I guess, what we want to call somewhat of an equivalent to UVA on the West Coast. A lot of people, when they say Stanford, they say UVA. Schools that are, I guess, considered what we call public Ivies, where very academically charged schools, but also can have and will have good programs as far as their sporting programs. Virginia's football hasn't measured up to what Stanford has in the past, but Stanford always typically has good sports outside of football as well. So this is interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what this team actually is and what they do and as they continue the journey of the 2025 season. Very impressive, very impressive. But one thing you're going to have to do is tune in Tuesday and see what my team has to say. And I'm looking forward to it as well. That's a lot of points, it's a lot of yards, a lot of success right now. But we'll see what happens on Tuesday, and I'll see you then. Wahoo! Thank you for tuning in. But as of now, this shop is closed. I am Big Law, 7 City Shop Talk Sports. Bye-bye.